how do you become omnipresent in the market where when somebody thinks about your subject or they think about you?
Hey everyone, Shaqir here. Right now I'm here with, I would say, my #1 client of all time, Mr. Jeremy Miner.
Yes, his name is Jeremy Miner, and his revolutionary techniques are blazing a trail of opportunity for salespeople the world over.
Why are you sitting so close to me, dude? A little bit uncomfortable here. I can't move around. No,
Guys.
you know, Shaq is a personal friend as well, and yeah, I had him over to my house about 10 years ago. I've had you, yeah, we've been friends since like 2012.
Wow.
Friends and clients, you know, crazy. Long time, 10 years, man. You're looking even younger than you were 10 years ago, bro. You had the long hair back then, like you're like this kid, like I'm an internet guru, you know. Now he's like a sophisticated, like multi-millionaire, crazy.
Yeah. We didn't have anything planned, but we do have 2 cameras pointing us at
We have 2 cameras, so we're on the spot
we're
now.
gonna talk about importance of sales, importance of funnels, how to scale.
Yeah.
I ask you questions, you ask me questions. How's
Go
that?
for it.
All right.
What do you got
Straight
for
up.
me? Yeah.
How'd you go? How big is your team now?
We have over 100 people, I think 117 now or something like that. So that's like salespeople, that's admin, that's like executive teams, and that's me and Matt, my business partner, CEO, and my other business partner, Marco, who's our CRO. So there's like 117 of us, growing very, very quickly. Sometimes we have to like put a pedal, you know, like we put the pedal to the metal in our marketing, and then other months we're like, we got to slow down because we don't have enough people we can't add on even more clients because we need more people for fulfillment. So it's a constant, as your, you know, company's only a couple of years old here. So as you know, like sometimes you have to quite literally like slow down a little bit to be able to put in the right people in place to be able to fulfill on what your products and services are if you want to be around long term and not like self-destruct from the inside out, which I've seen a lot of companies do. You've seen a lot of companies that scale, get really big, but because they just focused on sales, and they didn't have fulfillment on the back end, they just crumbled. So if you want to be around long term, you want to make sure your clients are all getting results. And that'll keep you around forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the, I mean, you've grown in the last 2-3 years, right? Because I saw you before here.
Yeah. Really the last 2 years. Last year we grew, I want to say close to 2,000%, and we were already fairly large. And then the year before we grew like 1,400%. And then Inc. magazine on the Inc. 5000 list listed us for 2021 we were ranked number 391 fastest growing company in the United States and of America out of over almost 7 million companies apply for that every year.
Wow.
So we were number 391 fastest growing, and then overall we were the #1 fastest growing sales training company in the United States, back-to-back years.
So
2 years
basically, you're gonna crush
and we're
Grant
still
Cardone.
trying to figure it all out.
You're gonna crush Grant Cardone.
Well, hey, I think Grant does things probably a lot different than us, and I'm not a Grant expert, so Grant, if you're watching this, you're probably a cool dude. But we're just a sales training company. That's all we do. Grant does a lot of like real estate and like all this other stuff, which he's very talented at. That's not really our specialty. Our specialty is just training anything from Fortune 100 companies to SMB down to individual salespeople who sell anything, how to sell more. Like that is our core business model that we'll never stray from.
Yeah. Hey, the growth obviously came because one of them was you have lots of skills.
Yeah.
But then you also hired something.
At least every other Thursday, for sure.
Other than him looking like he's 25, which he's looked like that for the last 10 years.
I know. I'm like the Benjamin Button guy. Like I'm reverse aging. So like in 40 years from now, I'll be like a baby or something. I don't know.
And last time I checked, he's got maybe 6.5 kids or something.
6.5.
Something.
5, dude.
Five. Okay,
kids.
5 kids.
5 kids. I got the basketball team going.
Yeah, so in terms of when you hired the CEO, CRO, I'd say they came in with the expertise, right? Before then, you were a very highly paid sales person.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, and obviously we worked on lots of things together.
Yeah. It's all about having the right team.
How did you find those?
Well, everybody we bring in, really from especially sales, even admin most of the time, are usually people that were clients. And so they already understand the methodology, they already understand the brand. So Matt and Marco were actually clients, just so you know. So Matt owned a ton of gyms. We helped, restructure his sales process. They made a lot of money. He sold all that. And then Marco was an individual, just salesperson client that went from making like $8,000 a month to like $80,000 a month in commission, selling the same thing. And with Matt, I was like, dude, you have this company. Why don't you come over here and be my business partner and CEO of the company? He came over, and then like a month later, we recruited Marco to be the CRO just because he was just a savage. The dude works like crazy hard. He understands marketing just as well as he does sales, which is very rare. I've never really met somebody that can actually do both really, really well. Usually they're going to be really good at sales and the marketing not so much. That would be like me. Or they're going to be really good at marketing and they just kind of suck at sales. But this dude like is up here with both. Like he's a legend. And so when you bring in those type of people and then you build underneath them and you all have the same vision, and of course you have to have two other things. You have to have great products and services where your clients get results, because if you can't get results, you're not going to be around. And then the second thing is you have to have omnipresence. Now that's something I had to learn even over the last like year, is like we need to be everywhere all the time. So we do like, 100, I think it's 160 to 180 reels a month on IG.
Come on, don't say
TikTok.
180, because I just said to Mikey, I said, Mikey, he's doing 160 reels a month, so we're going to do 161 starting this
Well, you
month.
got to do 181 now.
Mikey, turn that number to 181 reels starting this month.
But that's we do all these reels, we do all these posts on LinkedIn, two training posts a day times 7 days a week on LinkedIn. Same thing with YouTube now. We're doing all these YouTube shorts, like YouTube long-term videos. We're doing all the reels. So we do two to three reels a day on IG plus 2 training posts a day on IG. Same thing with TikTok. Same thing in our Facebook groups and on Facebook. So it's a content machine. So like literally out of every 4 weeks, every month, 1 week of that's all we're doing. Like I'm just working with Blake here, our videographer and our creative team, and all we do during that week is we have all these reels that we shoot. Plus we repurpose all of our training content. If I'm on podcast, I'm usually on 3 to 5 podcasts a week as a guest, stuff like this we'll repurpose. Training calls with our clients, group training calls, we repurpose for that. So it's like a constant machine.
Yeah.
But that constant machine gives you what's called omnipresence. That's something I actually learned from Grant Cardone, just reading his book about, not really about sales, but like how do you become omnipresent in the market, where when somebody thinks about your subject, so they think about you. So if they think about funnels, they probably think about you, right?
Yeah.
Or if they think about sales, they think about me, or whoever is omnipresent. So once you have omnipresence, the right team and the right products and services that get results, it's really easy to scale at that point. Now that takes a while to do all that, right? First of all, the first thing you have to do is you have to have the right products and services, because nothing happens with that. So if you're like kind of an expert in something, I would suggest like not diving in and starting something if you're kind of still an amateur, because you're not going to last, because people will be able to sniff that out very, very quickly. There's too many people that say they can do what you're wanting to do yourself. So you have to like learn those skills and really become an expert, not just kind of a halfway expert, right? And once you have that, then build around the right team and omnipresence, it's hard not to scale. Definitely.
That was awesome, dude.
Yeah. A whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. Yeah.
Questions for me?
Questions for you. So let's talk about funnels, because that's your expertise, besides like crypto and stuff. So you've been building all these funnels for the last 10, 11 years?
10, 11.
Something like that?
Yeah.
How has that changed? So let's say you started in 2012. How has that funnel process changed in the last 10 years? Because I see a lot of people that kind of do what you do, but like I said, they're more amateurs, and maybe something worked for them 5-6 years ago, and they're still selling that idea to the marketplace, and then clients buy into that idea, and then they don't get results. So how have you evolved in funnels?
So one, back in the day, we used to do WordPress funnels, right? So that was like building out, it used to take us 6 weeks. I'm sure we built you one or two funnels. I work with Jeremy Miner for those ones, right, on WordPress.
Oh, gosh.
And those took two, you tell them, it take 2 months and whatever.
Yeah.
But the process has changed in terms of people are a lot more aware now.
Okay.
So if people are a lot more aware, you don't have to educate them as much, right?
Yeah.
And positioning matters, because if you just position yourself, just like what you said, as an amateur, no one remembers you, no one cares, no one's paying attention.
There's too many people in the
Too many
market.
people. But if you can find ways to differentiate yourself. So for me, when I do interviews, podcasts, I'm like, hey, Shaqir Hussyin here, founder of funnels.com. It's easy. I got a quick, easy brand name. Funnels.com. I'll talk to people, and I could see as soon as I say funnels.com, they're like, hey.
Yeah.
The
funnel guy.
And so how they've evolved is, back in the day, the sales process was much longer. And one of the processes we used to use was taking people through 21 days, remember?
Yeah.
And Jeremy actually pioneered one of those systems that generated hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, where people were like, they would be forced to like go through different phone calls, right?
Indoctrinate them.
And now it's become much more, the sales cycle is much shorter, right? Like I can take someone from absolute stranger to like high ticket client from one webinar. Under 24 hours.
They're used to it now.
Yeah, the people have seen the messaging very, very well. So I always recommend, like, if you don't have a call funnel, which is like opt-in, they watch a VSL that's maybe 25 minutes, not the 4-hour one. I used to do 4-hour webinars, but like 25 minutes in and out, where you're just trying to provide them with information, authority, credibility, influence, get them to book a phone call. Boom, now they can basically get on a phone, and instead of saying, hey, book an hour call, what we found is book a call for like 10-15 minutes just to like qualify them real quick, and then if they're a right fit, then pass them on to a senior advisor. 45-minute close. Ideal price points, our price point starts at 18K, but from what I've seen with my clients, ideal price points is around 6 to 10K and then up. What would you say?
I would say for your industry, probably 5 to 10 grand for people starting, and then as you become an expert, probably anywhere from 15 to 50. Really, it just depends on what type of services you're doing. So that's the main thing is like people who have companies that scale and are around are companies that can evolve, right? So because things change in the marketplace, especially marketing, and like that's always evolving. It seems like every 90 days, like every quarter, there's something different that's changed. So I see a lot of these marketing companies that are still pitching. I hate that word, pitching stuff that worked, 4, 5, 6 years ago, but it's really not going to work that well now. Or they pitch it like, oh, well, it works. They're used to like one industry where they can build funnels in, and it'll work for that industry. But you go outside of that industry, and there's different things, right? And so you got to be careful who you hire, because maybe they just don't understand other industries, only just one niche. So you want to find somebody like Shaq that understands like really any niche, because he understands the psychology behind why these people are even buying in the first place. Whereas most marketers I've seen don't really understand the psychology of they don't understand human behavior. And if you don't understand that, when things change, you're pretty much screwed. Yeah,
so I'll give you one example, because we just spent $7.5 grand, collected over $312,000 cash. One challenge. Facebook, one traffic source, Facebook ads, 5-day challenge. People came in for $7. There's a little few upsells here and there. But as soon as they came in, the price points were like 80K, 18K, 30,000, 50K, 100K. So those are my 4 price points in my office, right? We got 280, just under 300 customers. About half of them showed up. So let's say 100, 150 showed up. And from there, we closed around 17 or 18 high ticket clients.
That's great.
So, that's a funnel where it does take a little bit more time, because I have to be there present, or I can do it once and automate it for the next month, which I'm running a challenge right now whilst we're here.
That's
okay,
awesome.
so if you're not doing one of those, let me know. I'll help you build one. But the challenge funnels, and that rose during the pandemic, because everyone's stuck at home, right? And so now everyone's like at home, they got plenty of time. And because people are still actually at home, they're still working from home, the challenge funnels, from what I've seen, are absolutely crushing it. So that's my number 1 top funnel. I'd say challenge funnel. Number 2 is a call funnel. That's my kind of bread and butter. It's the one that hasn't changed much over the last 10 years.
It's one you're running all the time.
All the time. That's like 80-20. It's the evergreen. It's what gets me high converting clients on automation. And then the third one I'd say is basically a book funnel. And if you see even Russell Brunson, he's grown ClickFunnels to $100 million per year because he's published so many books, and that reaches different segments of different industries. So that's actually one of my next 5 moves.
Yeah, that's good. No, it's true. Like we run a 3-day virtual challenge as well that we do every quarter. So
is it free or paid?
It's free. So we have done some of the pay. That works really good too. But those are usually like 1-day challenges. But we run a 3-day challenge every 4 months, right? And we always bring in cold traffic, and then we bring in organic traffic that haven't been in there before. And we have a price point typically that will lower down one of our programs to like $2,500. And we'll make about 600,000-700,000, maybe 800,000 on the front end of that. But then from upsales from that, we'll have 30-40% that will move on to the 15 to the 25. We'll make like 1.52 million from every single sales challenge that we do. But it's collecting those buyers, right? So they get a really good training product for a reduced price, and then a lot of them want to continue and learn even more advanced skills. So it's kind of like an upsell model, but to their favor, so they can kind of start at a lower price entry and then just kind of work their way up.
Yeah, 100%. So I'd say that, and in terms of marketing, it is that, if you can master the sales, you mastered the sales psychology.
Sure.
That's why, dude, like you've sold so many different things. Yeah. From what I remember, like you trained me, you trained my younger brother. My younger brother went on to do like $7-8 million in sales.
No, that guy's a stud,
and he's always praising your work and stuff.
Oh, well, thank you. I at least have one fan in the
Yeah,
world.
one fan.
At least one fan.
Sean works for you now. So Sean Ray, he was in my team for many years.
I got two fans.
Two fans.
Two fans.
I'm like half a fan, so maybe 2.5 fans. Just like he's got 6.5 kids. No, I'm kidding about that. 6.5 kids. But all in all, I strongly believe is that you've mastered sales psychology, I mastered marketing psychology, and because of those two things being the foundation, it doesn't matter what's happening in the marketplace. We can always adapt. Like, because this is what I realized. Some people can make $1 million a year, and bro, they disappear. Right? Like you've seen so many gurus. Like you've been here 2 years ago. Okay, look how many new faces. How many people?
How many are still here?
Right.
Those people can only do it like in one little niche, and as soon as that niche closes, they don't understand buyer psychology, so they just go flat broke. Right? So in sales, like we train 158 industries. Now, when I had my 17-year sales career, it's not like I sold in 158 industries and just knew everything in the back of my hand. But what I do is we have a sales methodology that we can adapt to any industry. It doesn't matter. So whether it's insurance sales to car salespeople to, let's say, a company that sells cybersecurity to banks, or let's say if you sell medical device or coaching or whatever it is, real estate agents, it doesn't matter. We get the same results for our clients because we understand buyer psychology, and once we understand the problems and or emotional needs of that industry that their prospects have, and we understand how their solution solves those, then it's easy for us to train them in how to sell their prospects. It doesn't matter the industry. So we're not just like a sales company that we teach people how to close high ticket deals and that's all they have. Like that's one of our industries out of the other. We have 157 other ones that we're also probably much bigger in than even this industry. And that's what I like about you is you understand buyer psychology and you can adapt with the market. And that's why you're around and you've scaled and you'll always scale. A lot of these people don't understand that. And that's why they'll have 1 or 2 good years and then you never hear from them again.
Yeah.
Or they'll come out with some new offer that's completely different. And you're like, you're not even an expert in that, dude. Like, come on, you read a book. Like, what's going on?
No, dude, those are valuable insights. I'm going to end with this because one of the things that in my programs, we teach people how to build their own methodology that makes them unique, expert, gets them to stand out from the rest of the crowd, even in a saturated market. And I've seen you do this amazing. I do this with funnels methodology. I've called something called 7 profit activators. If you activate any of these 7 profit activators, that these levers, you can exponentially grow your business. If you put all 7 of them, it just like takes the company. That's how I was able to scale from like 0 to 7, 8, multiple 8, and soon 9 figures. You've done this with NEPQ. So what's the methodology behind that?
So our branding is really, it's not just me that's branded because I'm just a person. It's really branded more around the methodology, NEPQ and 7th level, because let's say I go outside real quick and, like the gods or, God's just like, it's time to go. I'm going to hit him with a lightning bolt and Jay Miner's gone. The company would still grow and scale because the methodology is more around branded, some of me, but mainly the methodology. Okay. So the methodology will always live on. So we want to be a company that's still here 100 years from now, 150 years from now. So if you can learn how to brand your methodology, and we talked about that a second ago, it's like, if you want to become like a market disruptor, you have to come in with a new opportunity, right? So when we came in, we weren't like, learn how to sell. Well, everybody says that. Everybody trains that in our industry. So we have a completely different methodology. So it's like a new opportunity. Like here's the old model of selling. Here's the new model of selling. Like it's a new opportunity, and people that resonates with them because like, man, I'm using these traditional selling skills. I'm only getting this result. Maybe I need to look at this new opportunity. But we see a lot of sales training companies come in and they're just rehashing old school stuff in a different way, and people can sniff that out that it's really the same thing. So I think that's one good thing that you do is you have like a new opportunity. And that's what Russell talks about, the new opportunity, right?
It's new opportunity, giving people a charismatic leader, and here's something I want to touch on, dude, because this is, because I've known you, right? Like longer than probably almost all of your employees do that. I know you, right? Like, so
that's true.
You were a rock star salesperson, but you were introverted.
Yeah.
Right? But now
I'm an ambivert. So
what's that?
So that's right in the middle.
Okay.
So it's right in the middle. It's a person that can go up on stage. Like I just did a keynote 2 weeks ago in front of almost 7,000 people. And I get on there like, I have no nervousness about me. I'm just like in the zone. But then I can go to dinner later that night with like a group of 5 people and not say a word and just listen. So I can do both. I don't know. It's just a weird thing.
You transitioned from a guy making millions as a sales guy, because I lived with Jeremy Minor in his house. He had a
the
mansion.
Pad.
Damn,
yeah, back in the day.
We don't have that stuff in London. We have it in London. If you got 10 million pounds, $12 million.
Lord Shaqir's estate.
Yeah. But I just remember like you were behind the scenes, living in this mansion, fancy swimming pool, big ceilings, and you are crushing sales. And then over the years, you've had to become front face, right? Making TikToks, videos. How did you overcome? Because a lot of people watching this, they might be like, yo, I don't want to make videos. So I tell them, in today's day and age, even if you're an introvert, you have to be digitally extroverted because the marketplace is going to reward a personality, a person that has a story, that comes across authentic, that has something to share, right? So how did you step out?
How did I do it? I had to learn how to do it. Like I'd say if you go look at some of my videos from like even 5 years ago, you're like, oh, that's okay. I look at them, I'm like cringing. I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad compared. I think it's just, it takes practice. And you're learning the right skills. You're learning like, okay, like when I do these type of like TikTok reels, like I need to ask a question and then go into the answer. Well, I didn't know those type of things. We had to take courses to learn like how to go viral and stuff like that because I didn't know. And you just practice. Like even when we started doing all these reels, like, a year ago, if you looked at my reels the first month or two, you'd be like, oh, those are good. But now it's like every month, like I get better because I learn from my mistakes, right? So it's all about just getting in front of the camera. And like sometimes when you first do it, like ask him, like I'd be like, oh, that sucks. And we do like 8 takes for a 60-second reel. Now we just pretty much bang them off like boom, 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 boom. But that took a few months to get to that level. It's just all about learning and just doing it over and over and over until you become comfortable with it. Like to get to the next level in life, you always have to do what first? Get out of your comfort zone. And once you do, and you start doing it, then like the comfort zone moves up here and you keep advancing to your level. So in the beginning, it's always gonna feel uncomfortable because it's something new, but you don't wanna go take a step back and become comfortable with being uncomfortable because that's a shitty, crappy place to be. So it's all about practicing all the time and just realizing in the beginning you're not going to sound so awesome, but that's okay. That's what I would say.
Yeah, dude, that was a solid.
That's a good interview, man. That's solid.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
If you could start wearing Breitling watches though, because those are,
Let me see.
Look at that. Look at that, baby.
Guys, which one's top or bottom? Breitling or Hublot?
Breitling, for sure.
Let me know in the comment section below.
Brad Pitt wears Breitling.
Aye.
Matthew McConaughey? Breitling. Who else? What other celebrities are brand ambassadors? Tom Cruise.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Breitling.
I'm gonna go get my Patek and
come on now.
And my AP's out now. Okay.
Those are too cool for me.
Okay, so look,
right,
if you're watching this, make sure you hit subscribe down below. I'm gonna put my channel links. I'm gonna put Jeremy Minor's. He's one of my close friends. When it comes to sales, look, I have people, my team members, my friends, my clients, my family members, okay? Even my wife is a fan of learning from Jeremy and his team.
I'm a fan of the wife, all right.
Yeah, so, when it comes to selling, this is, I'd say that right now, and for a very long time, has been my personal friend, mentor. You wanna go check him out, and make sure you subscribe, follow us on social media. We'll see you then.
We'll have them follow us on IG. Let's give them our IG link.
All right, my Instagram is @Shaqir Hussyin, and Jeremy's is
@Jeremy Lee Minor, M-I-N-E-R. Make sure you're following the right account. There's a lot of spam accounts all the time selling stupid crypto stuff to everybody. So Jeremy, J-E-R-E-M-Y, Lee, L-E-E, Minor, M-I-N-E-R. We'll put a link there, Jeremy Lee Minor. Just follow me there.
Sounds good. Peace out, guys. This is what you call true love. I asked him for chewing gum.
I split it in half and gave it to him because I can't give. I only have one other piece. Like this is like hot commodity right here. It's like buying a car these days. You can't find a car, so they just overprice
out
it.
of love. There you go.
I split it in half with him, gave it to him. I don't have COVID, so you're safe. So we're good.